Hey everyone, I'm Avinya. I hold 2.5 years of experience and I joined as an associate in PwC. I'm an AWS community builder under data category and I share my insights to blogs and I run bite-sized podcast as well along with one of my friend. This is what bit about me and today I'm going to deliver the session on S3 lifecycle management. So basically what S3 does, it is going to store the files, okay, in the buckets. Okay, in buckets, in the sense it is like a folder. In the folder it is going to store the files. Like in our PC we have folder, and inside the folder we are having files, right? Images, videos, or documents, PDFs. So likewise the buckets works. Okay, bucket is like a folder, and in the bucket it is going to store the files as an object. So here the S3 lifecycle management, what it does, it is going to set the rules, how the files is going to work behind. Okay. Example, I will take it as an example as Gmail. Okay. We are having the plenty of emails coming over to the inbox. Okay. After 30 or 40 days, we sit and delete the older emails which we don't need, right? Likewise, it is going to automate in the S3. So it is an automatic data management. What the life cycle policy does, it is going to set the rules, how we are going to configure it, how the file is going to work behind in the S3. So it is the data management. It is going to automated data management. So it is automatically a object transition between the storage class. Okay, there are different types of storage class available in the Amazon S3. So based upon our patterns and rules, it is going to transition the storage classes. So from one of the file is in standard, and it is going to move into the standard IA after 30 days. It is going to reduce the cost. The cost optimization is good when we configure the lifecycle policy. Transitioning the object from S3 standard to the S3 standard IA after 30 days, it is going to reduce the cost. Okay, standard is having different cost and standard IA is having the different cost. Okay, so it is basically the constraint we are defining. The example, okay, the log files is generating to the S3 bucket in the timely manner, like in an hour, it is for an hour, it is generating for the minute. Okay, after like 7 to 10 days, we don't need that logs, we can move it to the archive. Because we don't need access to that frequently. So we can transition the files between the storage class. So how does it works? There are different types of storage classes available. If you need the files frequently, you can go it for the standard. In the daily basis, you are need the your file for the file, so you can go it for the standard. So infrequent is there. So if you need it in the same zone, you can go it for the one zone IA. If you don't need it for the if you needed the files in the multi availability zone, you go for standard IA. So, and then rarely you are acquire for the file, you can go it for the Glacier instant. So immediate access, you don't need the immediate access. How frequent you need the so it is having the non-immediate access as well, non-infrequent access. Likewise, so the company needs the data when they are when they are filing the audit or compliance purpose. So rarely they need means Glacier flexible. Almost never they need, they don't need. Okay, you can go for Glacier Deep Archive. So when you're choosing the storage class, it is going to reduce the cost. So lifecycle policy is needed to reduce the cost and the optimization the storage classes as well. Let me walk through how you can configure the lifecycle policy. And before going to it, I will explain. So S3 versioning is there. So this is how, S3 versioning is like one of the file, I'm updating the content over to it and re-uploading it. It is called the versioning. Okay, the same file is having different versions, but different content over the same file, but different content over there. It is having version 1, version 2, version 3. Okay, so it is products the data by returning multiple versions of the objects. Suppose you don't need the current file, you need the previous file, you can go to the previous version. This is how S3 versioning works. So breakdown of cost reduction strategies. So I'm having version enabled in my bucket, okay, to all of the objects. So now without lifecycle policies, it increases the cost for me. Without lifecycle rules, it is going to increase the cost. With lifecycle rules, it is going to reduce the cost. It is a cost optimization technique as well. Let me tell you how it works, okay. So I'm having 5 different versions, okay. One file is having 10 GB of data in the standard storage class. So I'm uploading different 4 more version to it. It is going to having a 50 GB of data. It is going to increase the cost for the month if I don't enable, if we don't set up the life cycle rule. Okay, I set up one of the life cycle rules. After 30 days, you can delete the older version. Okay, I don't need the older version. I only want the current version of file. Okay, so the 40 GB of data is going to delete permanently. Only the current version is going to have in the standard. So it is going to almost reduce the cost 70 to 80%. Without life cycle rules, it is having more cost, and with life cycle rules, it will reduce the cost. Okay. This is how we can configure the lifecycle rules, and let me walk through how to set up the lifecycle rules in the AWS console. So in the AWS console, I have created one S3 lifecycle bucket. In the lifecycle bucket, I have uploaded one of the text file, and I have enabled the versioning over here. So if you click and show the versions, it will have the 2 versions. The same file I uploaded twice, okay, with a different text format. But the same file name I uploaded here. If I'm going to management and creating the lifecycle rule, and I'm going to create daily versions. Okay, and it is going to apply for all the objects in the bucket. So here it is having different life cycle rule actions. One is current versions. We can transition from one storage class to different storage class. Suppose I am removing the older files from but one of the storage class to different storage class. Okay, older than 30 days, I can move it from storage to storage IA. Anyways, it is going to minimize the cost. And now I'm going to permanently delete the non-current versions. Okay, whichever the older versions I'm having in the bucket, I'm going to delete it. So here permanently delete the non-current versions of object. So it will ask how many days, and I'm giving the 30 days. And after 30 days, so it will permanently delete from the bucket, the older versions. So create the rule. So it is created. This is how you can configure the lifecycle configuration. It is going to reduce the cost, and it will remove the older files. It is going to reduce the storage as well in the bucket, and you can move the different storage class based upon your need. This is how you can configure the lifecycle configurations, and it is going to give you the cost optimization, and it is going to reflect on all the objects in the buckets as well. And thank you for watching the video.